um, still see you. Thank you very much for being here. Obviously, I know Chris and Graham. Sally, I haven't met you before. I haven't met Anne, and I haven't met Julie. Welcome, and welcome to everyone who is watching this afterwards. So everyone's got their charts. Everyone is. Julie, you've got yours. Sally, and everyone's okay. Good, and hopefully people watching this have theirs as well. This is going to be really interactive because there's only a few of us, and I'm going to go through the numbers. But really, if you've got any questions about any of the numbers you have, the positions they're in, just say, "Hey, Antonia, I've got a question." Just put your hand up, just interrupt me, just say anything. Because it's supposed to be fun and informal and hopefully give you a lovely understanding of yourself, which is what this work really delivers and why I'm so passionate about it. So I'm going to introduce myself really quickly. Some people already know me. I'm Antonia. I deliver soul contract readings, and I didn't start there. I started as a kinesiologist. This is a really beautiful mind-body therapy that looks at the emotional root cause of symptoms. So this was my passion, and I trained in this about 6 years ago. And the reason I had kinesiology was because I was very burnt out with my job in London. And oh, we've got two Julies who have just signed. We've got another Julie. This is very confusing. Hi, second Julie. Oh my God, we've got three Julies. This is this is great. I've never had this before. Okay, it's your friend. No, I love that you gave the link to your friends. This is awesome. Do your friends have their charts? Or do they? Yep, you got it. Julie and Julie. Okay, I'll ask your names in a minute. We'll do a really mini introduction to everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so excited. I'm Antonia. I think you just missed me saying hello and who I was. I was just saying, I started my journey into all of this through having kinesiology, which is a very lovely therapy that looks at the emotional root cause of symptoms. And everything that I was experiencing was really linked to my soul contract. And I didn't really realize that. I only got my reading done this time last year. And I look back and I see everything in my life making sense. Oh my God, I dealt with that because of that issue. And a big thing about my soul contract is I have a lot of sevens. You might see on yours, you have a lot of the same number. It's what we call a dominant vibration when you have four of the same number. Mine was seven, and seven's all about healing the heart. And I had kinesiology because I didn't feel worthy of love. I didn't feel worthy of being in a relationship. And it was very painful for me. I was in my late 20s and had been suffering, carrying around this burden for a long time. And when I had kinesiology, I let it go. But boundaries have always been a big deal in my life with people. And no wonder I have eights. Eights are all about boundaries. What else have I been dealing with? Lots of other different things. And I see all the numbers playing out in my chart. So this is really fun for you. When you look at your chart, you're going to be seeing the numbers as experiences you've gone through and the potential that you have ahead of you. So no matter what age you are, when you have a reading, you get to look back and you get to look forward. You get to really sort of enjoy it and play with them. And the energies will just keep swirling around and having a good time. So we're just going to do a really, really quick introduction. And if anyone's really uncomfortable with speaking on camera, that's totally okay. But if you just say your name and where you are and maybe why you're here or what you want to learn about yourself, that would be perfect. But if you're not comfortable doing that, that's okay. Anyone want to say who they are and where they're from?
I can go first. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Hello. Hi, Antonia. Can I call you by your first name?
Of course you can. Yes.
Yes. I am Rue.
Yeah.
It's RU,
Yeah.
Romeo Uniform. It's short for my birth name, Rosalind
Mhm.
Garcia. I signed up um in the link that was on the link that was sent by my friend Julie. But I didn't get any Zoom link, so I used her instead. Used
Ah,
her link instead.
it
Yeah, but
might
it's
be your
okay.
spam. Sometimes the
Oh
automated.
yeah, I can try to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm from the Philippines,
Yeah.
and that's uh
What would you like
that's
to know
pretty
about
much it.
yourself?
Oh yeah, about to know. So I just I met a numerologist is before, and she read my palm, and I forgot what she told me, but she asked me about my date of birth. She
Okay.
said something beautiful about it. I
Okay.
just forgot about it. Yeah,
Maybe you'll have a
and
reminder.
I just want to know the what exactly is the reading of my chart.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I want to discover myself more. Thank
Amazing.
you, Antonia.
Welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you here. We'll definitely be telling you what's in your chart with the numbers. Okay, who else would like to introduce themselves? Hiya.
Hi everyone, I'm Anne. I'm from Somerset. I'm also a kinesiologist, and I'm here because I'm just really intrigued because I've got some fellow kinesiologists who have been talking about soul contracts for quite some time, and I know absolutely zero about it. And I've been following Antonia on Instagram for quite some time, and I was just totally intrigued. Mentally challenging time at the moment. So yeah, be interesting what comes up. Thanks
Amazing.
all.
Lovely to meet you, Anne. Really happy that you're here. Okay. Who else? Who else? We've got a few more people here. But if you don't want to say anything, that's okay.
Can I speak on behalf of my dear wife?
Yes.
We're both patients of yours, as you know.
Graham and Chris Jackson.
Graham and Chris Jackson. Christine, that is. Christine, because some people think she's a bloke with on emails. She's a nurse, London trained nurse, who's had a certain amount of trauma with operations, and she's come after 20 years of suffering, come to get some relief and help and move forward in life. It's taken quite a long time. I'm her husband, Graham. I was born in London. I'm an engineer. I've done a lot of change management work, which has been interesting, but that's all what I call physical work. It's a lot of it's psychological as well, but I'm interested in how these alternative sciences, if I may call it that for want of a better word, work, and it fascinates me, and I can see what I can get to by putting the two together. I'm retired now, by the way, because I'm all good.
Lovely to have you both and your gorgeous energy here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we've got two more Julies, but
Yeah, I'll next. So I'm Julie from the Philippines. We're actually from the Philippines. So a little thing about me is that I'm about to finish my clinical psychology. It's just that there's something actually that is very drawn to me in divine healing. So I'm actually across to the soul contract, which actually so intrigued, so curious to know um who I who I am really is. So I have this feeling that there is something big inside of me which I really don't know yet what it is. So I keep on searching actually on the internet on what is my life path. I discovered I'm life path number 11, soul urge number 5, the numerologist I study all. Still, I want to know more about me. So, that's why that this soul contract may actually help me to discover what my service to people, what I can offer, because right now what I can offer to people is that I can help them deal with their depression, anxiety and all, but somehow I feel lost.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here.
Interesting. The number 11, I don't know if you have the 11 in your soul contract. Have you
Yeah,
seen?
I do have a lot.
Yeah, so the 11 is all about feeling lost. Where is
Yeah.
it in your soul contract? What position is it in? Is it a karma or a goal or a soul destiny?
Um, 11 to I have here in physical challenges, spiritual challenges, physical qualities. You have a
11's hanging out in your chart. Okay.
yeah, but then I'm so curious because I do have the 9 in physical drives and spiritual qualities. So um they said that it is a dragon sign.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't worry, we'll talk about it because all the numbers, even if they're in like a talent position, doesn't mean that they're always activated. So sometimes numbers have to, they all kind of work together in a kind of a flow. So when, even though you've got like clear set numbers in certain areas of your chart, it's all about how they're interacting and flowing together. There's a dynamic always between them, yeah, so if we have time, we'll pull up your chart and have a quick look because that would be really cool. I would like that. Okay, so we've just got Sally and we've got one other person.
I've got lots of 11s.
Oh, Sally, welcome to the 11 Club. I'm not in, but
I'm gonna I'll put my camera on for a second so you can see my. Oh no, I've upset him. It's my cat.
we welcome.
My cat was basically curled up around my neck, which is why I didn't have my camera on.
Oh no, that's amazing. I love
He's camera shy. But he's gone now. Anyway, yeah, my soul chart has a lot of 11s, but so I'm Sally, living in Cambridgeshire, and I have done a lot of traveling and living in different areas. And the reason I've joined is because I have done quite a lot of spiritual work on myself and keen to learn more about myself and how I can move forward in life, because I'm quite should we say I'm on a 7-8 year midlife crisis,
Okay.
or 7-8 years into a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
and finding it very hard to get out and understand what my reason for being is, in terms of where I want to live, where to live, what to do career wise. Really very lost.
Okay. Okay.
Despite the amount of spiritual work I've done, I'm finding it incredibly difficult to connect to self and understand and trust myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
It's lovely to have you, Sally, and hopefully you'll get some answers and a little bit.
Yes, I hope so.
Can I just ask what your soul destiny is, the number in the middle?
Soul destiny is 11.
11 too, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 11. The first is 11 and the second bit is 2.
Yeah, so 11s are often about, it takes a lot of time to integrate the 11 energy. It's all about bringing your truth online and building your core values. The energies of 11 are like builders. It's like building your value system, building your understanding of truth, and it can take time, which can be very frustrating. But we'll dive into them. We'll dive into the 11s a little bit more now that I know some people have them. So is that everyone? We've got one more person for the Philippines, but
Yeah, I'm the third Julie. My name is Michael. I'm a single parent. So I'm just curious on what those numbers mean to my life, actually.
amazing. And do you have your chart?
Yeah, I do have my chart.
Did you say your name was Miguel? I didn't catch it.
Michael.
Michael. Mike, not Miguel.
Yeah.
Michael. Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, what we're going to do is we are going to really quickly all shut our eyes. And we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths. So just take a lovely deep breath in and out. And I just want you to hold a really clear intention in your mind of what you would like to learn about yourself. And just say the words, I intend to. So mine is, I intend to really enjoy myself. And then at the end, I say, and it is done. So I really want you to take a huge amount away from this. So set your intention, ground it down, and then take a lovely deep breath. And out. And we're ready. I do that for me almost more than anyone else because my soul contract is very ungrounded. So I'm always about grounding. Okay, so we're gonna start. This is very exciting. I'm gonna share my screen. It's not letting me share. Okay, there we go. So that's Julie's chart. Sorry, Julie. Let's go on here. Here we go. Okay, so can everyone see? Let's do this. Present. Gosh, how scary. Okay. I don't do presentations very often. Okay, can everyone see my screen? That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And also, if you have a question and you wave, I can only see 4 people at a time. Actually, no, maybe I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I can see more of you now. But do just say, hey, Antonia, I've got a question, and we'll go through it. So a really quick introduction before we get into the numbers. What is a soul contract? Essentially, it's a set of experiences that your soul really wants you to experience in this lifetime. So it kind of made this agreement, like, I want to evolve through, I want to experience this, I want to have these challenges and learn and grow from them. So everything's kind of almost pre-designed, pre-organized, as it were, before you sort of came here. And it's all to do with sound. It's nothing to do with conventional numerology. It's nothing to do with your birth date. It's to do with the sound of your name as your parents intended it to be said, and what's written on your birth certificate. That's the intention that was set for your name. And the sound is what we use to create the soul contract. We translate the words of English into ancient Hebrew, and then we sort of map them onto your chart. And it's all about the frequencies and the energies of those sounds. So it's nothing to do with the numbers. You'll see lots of characters and squiggles and diagrams. They're very important as well, but it's all to do with the sounds. So I'll just show you what we kind of do. Let me just get my little annotate tool, the right one. So this is my birth name. Each of those letters I translate into Hebrew, and there's only 22 letters of their alphabet. And I sort of, we map them onto what we call the Star of David, which is this thing here. And you'll see that there are 2 triangles. You've got a triangle going upwards, pointing to the heavens. This is more of the spiritual triangle, which kind of activates a little bit more later in life. It kind of has to work through the physical triangle first. This one's pointing downwards to the earth plane. So you work through the physical, and then you kind of come into the spiritual. And this is really what you're meant to see. If you have a very short name, you just have one triangle, and there's no separation between the physical and the spiritual. So some people do have that as well. Okay, so let's go. What are we going to look at now? Okay, karma. This is my favorite. I love to talk about these, and I'm going to try not to speak about them for too long. So karma is our greatest gift. Karma is what we probably find the most challenging in our lifetime. It's nothing to be scared of. Karma is what we can create our potential from. So we always think of karma as, oh my God, I've got this really heavy, intense karma in my life. It's the seed of your opportunity, and it's your potential, essentially. It's a really amazing thing, karma. And there's always a way to work through it. And it's designed to make you strong. And it's designed for you to integrate and for it to become your gift of service. my karma is being scared to speak the truth and not connecting with people. And I'm on a webinar talking to people and connecting with them. But my karma, I find that really challenging. So we're designed to work through it and push through and activate it, as a little example. It's really easy to give examples about me. Okay, and now we've got talents. So talents are a way that we can really work through our karma. So talents kind of activate and sort of work through the karmic load in our chart. But often we're not aware of what our talents are. And so we can't really bring them online. So when you know in a soul contract what your talents are, you can begin to really start activating them and bringing them online. So even though they're mainly positive, when we look at the numbers, they can be in the negative. So it's all about activating them and making them work, bringing them online, basically. And then we've got our goals. Goals are supposed to be a little bit challenging. Goals are what your soul really wants you to achieve. They're the dream that we're striving for, and often the incentive that we really want to be here to achieve. They're not so karmic as the karma, but there is a karmic load to them. So they're not just, oh yay, I've got this fun challenge of coming into my own power, which is the 9. I have to work really hard to overcome disempowerment and to speak up. I have to work really hard to come out of hiding, which is the 7 energy, and integrate as one person. But I'm working on it. That's my incentive. I'm like, I'm here to do that. I'm going to do it. Okay, and then what have we got next? Soul destiny and dominant vibration. Okay, so your soul destiny is the number in the middle, and this is almost like an amalgamation of all the other energies that sort of come in. The soul destiny is the apex of your chart, what your soul is really here to master in, really here to learn. And the soul destiny number carries karma, talents, and goals. It carries the full load. So it's a very strong energy in your chart. So if you've got the same numbers, so I've got a 12-3 here as well, I'm going to be really feeling the 12-3 energy, which is all about trying to expand constantly. It's an exhausting energy sometimes. But we'll come on to the 12-3. And just a couple of really quick things. I mentioned the single triangle. If you just have one triangle because you have a short name, then you've just got 3 energies, 3 sets of numbers the soul really wants to work through. It wanted to be very focused, so it just picked 3. You'll also see that some numbers are double and some numbers are split. When it's a 7-7 or a 2-2 or a 4-4, it's like a double concentrated energy. The soul's like, this is the lesson I really want to learn. Whereas if it's a 12-3, you've got the energy of 12 and the energy of 3. So it's sort of not so intense. It's a little bit more diluted. So sometimes lots of double letters can mean it's quite a rigid path. I've got lots of double letters. You know, my mission is quite set in stone. Another interesting thing, when you have lots of letters in your name, it can mean there's lots of different energies flying around. We call people like this a jack of all trades. They've got lots of energies. I've got a very long name. I'm a jack of all trades. And sometimes when, I don't know if anyone's got the same numbers in their karma, in the physical and the spiritual. Has anyone got that? Now that's lucky, because sometimes when the same numbers are in the karmas, leads to a very intense experience of that karma. But if you have the same numbers in your talents as your karma, then your soul has given you the exact numbers to overcome. It's just the exact match in frequencies. Oh, Julie, I see you nodding. Yes. That's great. That's really helpful when that happens, because say my physical karma is 5. If I had physical talents of 5 5s, that would be a really nice match. But at the same time, I've got 4 sets of 5s in my charts. That's a strong 5 energy. if that were to happen. So there's a caveat to it. It can be good and it can be challenging. Okay, so we have got a lot of numbers to go through. So, and we've got 50 minutes. So some numbers I'm gonna spend more time on because I'm either more aligned with them, they come up a lot more frequently in people's charts, or I feel drawn to speak more about them today. But if anyone's got any questions about their numbers as we're going through, just holler at me and say so. So who's got a 1 in their chart here? Who's got some 1s?
I've got a 1.
Christine's.
Yeah.
Your 10-1.
Yes.
I've got 1s.
1. Yeah.
Sally,
Three
is it a 1-1 or is it a 10-1? Or was that Anne who said that?
I've got 10
I've got 1s.
Sally, oh, okay. So Anne, you've got who's got a 1-1 and who's got a 10-1?
I've got 10-1.
10,
I have a
you've got
10-1.
10-1s.
I've got 3 10-1s.
Ooh, okay. We'll spend some time on the 10. I'm gonna write this down. 11 2s and 10 1s seem to be the theme of tonight.
But I've just realised that I've used my married name and not my
Birth name. So yeah, so your married name will also, this is really interesting. So I'll explain what this is. So we want to be looking at your birth name for your soul contract, because your birth name is like the cake of your life. It's the core, it's the foundation. And then any other name you have on top is like a layer of icing. So for example, my full name is my cake, but my common name that I commonly go by, Antonia Beamish, is a layer of icing on top. If I were married, another layer of icing. If I get divorced and change my name again, another layer of icing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Anne, you can, if you have, go onto the software and see if you can get your birth chart. And if you can't,
I'm struggling with the software, to be honest. I can't get on. So
quickly send it to you now.
it's the same name with a Cullum, so it's Cullom, and Christine Cullum.
Because you're here, because I know this is just breaking it up, but it's really important because you're here in your life. So it's Anne, say that one more time. Christine.
So it's, that's the same, and it's Cullum, Cullom.
Okay, it's coming.
Thanks so much. Sorry, everyone.
No, you're
Got
so
that wrong.
welcome.
Was focusing too much on the icing.
Let me. Well, maybe there's a reason for that. And actually, you have got 2 10-1s in your chart here. So often we do meet people who bring in the same numbers. So we change our name, we get married to them, and our numbers match because your soul's like, I'm not going to let you escape working through these numbers. Let me just see. Might be able to put it in the chat. I put it in the chat, Anne.
Okay.
So it's just in there. Okay. Can you see that okay? Did I spell your name right? So if you just go into the little chat.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. So you've still got the 10-1s in there. They don't want to escape. So we'll come on to the 10-1 as a team. But the 1 is all about unity, power, and stability. It is a very strong energy to have in a chart. I would call it the most spiritual energy that you can really have. And we call them the energies of God, and not in a religious sense. I don't use God in a religious, I'm not religious at all. When I say the word God, it's like the universe, it's spirit, it's the divine, it's pure divine energy coming into your chart. And the key thing with a 1 is that you're really here to be of service. People with 1s find it very satisfying to help other people and to be of service, especially with healing and helping people. I know Chris won't mind me saying Chris was a nurse and she has a 1 in her chart. She's a 10-1. I don't have a 1 in my chart. I have some other fun numbers, but it's a very strong energy and it's all about living in alignment with yourself. It's all about integrity. It's all about core values, because if you don't have a strong foundation within yourself, you can't withstand helping other people. So this is why it's all about foundation and strength. But what we have to watch out for with 10-1s is that they can want to avoid their spiritual growth. They can sometimes, oh, hi, Casey. You just popped in. I didn't see you there. Hey. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Whichever one you want to start with first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now watch out for avoidance of spiritual growth. So it's all about staying on the spiritual path and not veering off, because you need to build a strong foundation. And sometimes ones can sneak into a chart because of a past life avoidance of spiritual growth or misuse of power. This is often, so the 3 numbers which indicate a past life abuse of power are 10-1s, 19-1s, and 9s. It's really interesting. It's often a past life thing, which is why you, yeah, Julie, I can see you smiling, which is why you come into this lifetime to learn how to use power responsibly. So it's all about a stable routine and discipline. This really manages the 1 energy. Okay, let's go on to number 2. I love number 2, especially when it's an 11-2. So we'll come on to the 11-2 together. But just so you really understand the 2 energy, the 2 energy is like a supportive spring that nourishes people. People come into the aura of people who've got 2s in their charts, and they feel nurtured and nourished by them. It's a very supportive, very feminine energy. But you might be very supportive to other people, but the 2 energy can feel very out of balance. So the energy of a 2 points like up and down. So highs and lows and moods can be really common with the energy of 2s. And the other thing I really love is the lesson here. There's a lesson in a few of the numbers, and this one is foolishness to wisdom. 2 is all about making a foolish decision, gaining the height of perspective when the spring bounces up, getting that perspective, and then becoming wise. So that's really the energy of a 2. It's very supportive and loving. It's all about coming into your wisdom, learning from your mistakes, becoming balanced and wise and objective and calm and still. But yeah, just be careful of 2s can be very oversensitive, especially when there's 11-2 energy in a chart. Sometimes that can indicate a little bit of trauma that's coming through. So we all have that in our lives anyway, but 11-2s are all about healing from the trauma. Really, really gentle, very gentle healing for anything that you've experienced in your life that's destabilized you. And being very gentle with yourself and learning not to be so impulsive and rush into decisions, and actually take your time. The less impulsive you are, the less you make those foolish decisions. So that's the 2 energy. Okay, what have we got next? 3. Okay. Who's got some 3s in their charts?
Well, I've got 2 spiritual talents. 3-3.
Have you got a 12-3, Graham?
No, I've got both physical talents and spiritual talents. I've got 3-3.
Double 3s?
Yes.
I've got 12-3 and 21-3.
Okay, so the 12-3 and the 21-3 are quite different from the 3-3 energy. The 21-3 is all about moving through challenges. The 12-3 is all about constantly wanting to expand, but with a lot of love. And the 3-3 is all about communicating and learning to bring things out from the depths. You'll kind of see it's like a cave, and the 3s are all about sharing deep knowledge and also learning to feel things within. Sometimes the 3s don't want to feel. And I know this because I have 3s. Sometimes we stay busy to avoid feeling the 3s. I can see you smiling, Ruth. Sometimes we don't want to go into the depths within us and feel stuff because it's too uncomfortable. So it's all about, with a 3, learning to communicate. And Graham, because you've got them in your talents, I would say that you're very good at communicating. People with 3s, when they activate them, very good at talking, communicating, singing.
My wife says I go on a bit, but I'll shut up now.
Yes, the 3 energy, it's very expressive. It's lovely expressive energy. And it's all about learning. The lesson of 3, it's another lesson, poverty to wealth. So learning your internal self-worth that then reflects in every other area of your life. So the abundance in your life is all about the abundance you feel within. It's a very internal journey, the 3. It's really lovely. And people often become teachers of some sort, not in a school, but in life. The 3 energy is all about communication, sharing, teaching. So do more acting, do more singing, express yourself. If you've got a 3 in a karmic position, I think you'll find, Graham, because it's in your talents, but if it's in a karma or a goal, and this is for actually all of the recommendations, when I put key to working through, it's really if it's in a karma or a goal position, or if it's in a talent, just keep doing these things. So that's the 3 energy, and I'll talk about the 21-3 and the 12-3 as we go through. It's amazing. There's 22 numbers, but we're working our way through. Okay, the 4s. Who's got some 4s in their charts?
I have
22-4.
22-4. Yeah, the 22-4 is the last number. It's
Oh,
the number of source. It's a lovely
I
number.
got 4-4.
You've got a 4-4. Where is it in your chart?
Physical goals.
Okay, so with a physical goal, it's all about learning to trust. Actually, 4s anywhere in the chart are all about learning to trust. So it's all about connecting to the source of abundance and letting it flow through you so that you can learn and then share and then learn and then share. It's all about duplicating and sharing. And people with the 4s, especially in the talents, it's a really cool number. My brother has 4s in his talents. It's all about using your intellect and your business acumen to be very successful. It's all about connecting with that abundance within. And the thing I love about 4s is it's all to do with radiating who you are to the world. It's sharing yourself unconditionally. It's really beautiful. But in order to do that, we need to trust that we'll always be looked after, supported, and cared for. We need to trust that the river of abundance is constant and flowing. And if we have 4s, sometimes we don't trust that. We sort of block it. We say, well, I can't see it. I don't trust it. So it's all about trusting and leaning back and feeling deserving of abundance, deserving of everything that you deserve. So lots of sharing for 4s, because sometimes the 4 energy doesn't like to share. It likes to hold on to what it has for fear of nothing else coming to replace it. So 4 is all about sharing. It's really important actually for 4s. Okay, let's get into the 5 energy. This is my favorite number because I have 2 of them in my chart. Who else has some 5s here? I know Christine does.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Judy.
I have 14-5 in Soul Destiny.
Nice. Okay, 14-5. Yeah. But okay, so the 5 energy, and maybe Rue, you'll resonate with this. It's a very sensitive energy. People with 5s are very sensitive. It's a very ethereal, light energy that's very spiritual, very creative, but it's not very rooted down into the density of the 3D life, the physical reality. So sometimes we're very ungrounded. We can really lack feeling things because we're always in our heads. So the 5s are all about not overthinking and coming back into reality, always grounding ourselves. So grounding is really important. Very important for us. 8s, if anyone's got 8s in their charts, grounding's very important for 5s and 8s, more than any
I've
other.
got 8 in spiritual goals and spiritual karma.
Yeah, so grounding's a big one for you, Graham. Yes. And it's all about feeling as well. Fives and eights are all about learning to come from our heads and into our bodies. Not thinking,
Oh,
but feeling. Not overthinking, not being mental, but embodying the emotions.
I have 5-5 on my physical karma too.
Snap, that's exactly what I have. That's exactly what I have. 5 5s in the physical karma. So the other thing you might struggle with, you know, apart from being very sensitive and very gentle, is that it's all about speaking the truth with a 5. We have to speak the truth, but we probably find it really hard. So it's all about standing up for ourselves and embodying what I call the Aries energy of assertiveness. It's really important for 5s to be very assertive. And you know, we're pioneers and we're innovators and we're visionaries. It's a really cool energy to have in a chart. So you have to accept yourself as a pioneer when you have a 5, and you have to use your speech. Your speech is your talent, your voice is your talent. You've got to speak the truth. It's really important. So be more assertive and get out of your body, get out of your head and into your body. It's the key for 5s, okay? We love 5 energy. I love my 5s. I find them hard, but I love them. Okay, 6s. Who's got some creative?
I have a couple of I have 6 in physical goals.
Okay. 6s and okay, cool. So
I
Sally,
also have 6
yeah.
spiritual talents.
Okay, nice. So that's a 6 talent energy. Yeah.
So I have 6 in my spiritual talents too.
Amazing. Okay, so what I would say to you with all of the 6s is I always say to people who have this number, do you find that you can be really focused on things, or you can be really scattered and overwhelmed and try and do lots of different things at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you swing between them. So the 6,
It's one or the other, but
Yeah.
never a balance.
it's the seesaw of 6. All the numbers are a seesaw between the karmic aspect and the real talent aspect. So 6s are very creative, spiritual, powerful numbers. And again, like the 4s, very good in business. They know what they're capable of achieving. But the 6 energy can get very scattered, trying to do lots of different things, which can make you feel very burnt out and very exhausted. If you look at the symbol, it's like this beautiful flow of creative energy that gets stuck in a sticky knot at the bottom. So sometimes the 6 energy can bring in a lot of frustration and anger because you're trying to unblock something, you're trying to move through something. And the 6 is kind of, yeah, it's like you can't work your way through it. And really, the key is to focus your energy on one thing and one thing only, and to move through things in baby steps, one thing at a time. This is how you unblock this frustration and anger of the 6 energy, because it's very creative, it's very strong-willed, it's a very grounded, catalytic number to have in a chart. And normally people with 6s can take a spark of an idea and just go with it. They can run with it. They can do anything really. It's like the 9s and 6s are very creative and expansive. But yeah, just watch out for that frustration and anger. What you want to do is you want to harness it. You want to harness it into a project or a goal and just focus on that one thing and let go of being stubborn. Sometimes we can be a bit stuck in our beliefs when we have this number. And the other number that we can get a bit too stubborn and rigid is the 20. If anyone's got a 22 in their chart, 20s can get very locked in, like it has to be this way. It's all about being open and flexible. Yeah, so 6 energy, very catalytic, very powerful to have in a chart. Okay, now this is my favorite number because I have 4 7s. I really love the 7 energy. Who's got?
Sorry, I have to go.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'll
Bye.
catch up on the video. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll see you then.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
So 7s are all about healing the heart. Michael, do you have 7?
I got 7. Yeah, spiritual karma, 16-7, Then physical talent 7-7.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so you've got it in a talent and a karma. Okay, we'll come on to the 16-7. But the 7-7 energy is really all about being a catalyzer for people. So you are the link that connects two people together. It's a very magnetic, catalytic energy. And I would say, Michael, do you find that people are really drawn to you? Like, do you have a lot of like people in your life? Do you find that people
Yeah.
like to, yeah, people like to hang out with sevens? It's the 7 energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really juicy and really vibrant. They can be the life and soul of the party. But the other side of sevens, the sign that's linked to and also if you don't have these numbers in your chart, look at your family, look at your parents, look at your siblings, look at your partners, look at your ex-boyfriends, because you will see these numbers in their chart and be like, God damn it, yes, my mum's totally got this, 7 in her chart. You'll be able to understand the people in your life a lot more. The sevens are all about Gemini, the two faces of Gemini. Sevens like to hide who they are sometimes because they don't feel safe to come out of hiding. So this is often to do with having a heartbreak when they were younger. Maybe when they were a child, maybe when they were older. So it's all to do with healing the heart so you can come out of hiding and really show who you are to the world. And letting go of control. We can be quite controlling. This is who I am, and I'm going to be very controlled in what people see about me. So it's all about feeling safe enough to heal that heart and come out of hiding. And when you do, oof, you are a catalyst. You are a catalyst for people. You network and bring people together. You unify them. It's very magnetic, very powerful. It's what I call a master number. There's only 5 in the numbers. 7 is one of them. 7, 3, 13. There's a couple more. I can't remember, but the 3, there's one more. Master numbers have quite a lot of power in a chart. So it's really nice if you have those numbers. Okay, whizzing through. Okay, the 8 energy. Graham, did you say you've got 8s in your karma somewhere?
I've got spiritual karma, physical goals, 2 8s.
Okay, I've got spiritual karma of 8s as well. Anyone else?
I've got loads of 8s everywhere.
Do you, Anne? Okay. This number's for you. Okay. Okay, the 8s are all to do with grounding into this reality, a bit like the 5s. Sometimes 8s don't want to be here. And I know this because I have them. Sometimes 8s say, I don't really want to be in this reality right now. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to connect with people. I don't want to be living this life. They can feel quite disconnected from people around them and community. And really, the 8 energy is all about connecting with people because 8s have a lot to give. They're very high frequency, clairvoyant, very high energy souls that come in and bring 8s with them, especially Anne, if you've got quite a few. It's a very nurturing, supportive, loving energy. And it's all to do with connecting with people. But 8s can probably feel things pretty deeply. You've got a very thin membrane between you and the world. So 8s are often very empathetic and really feel what other people are feeling. There's a very thin barrier between us and other people. And sometimes the watch out with 8s is that we want to fix and save other people. We get over involved because we can feel things. We're like, well, I know how they're feeling. Let me help them. Let me sort them out. But we really have to wait to be asked. And it's all about having boundaries. So 5s and 8s, those are the 2 numbers around boundaries. I've got both of them. It's all about learning your boundaries so people don't come in and abuse them. So you'll often get people showing up in your life who will challenge your boundaries, and they are for your soul to step up and embody that energy and say, I speak my truth, 5s, and I assert my boundaries, 8s. So that's the energy of 5s and 8s. And you've got to learn to feel emotions. 8s don't want to feel things in the body. They like to stay in their heads like the 5s. It's all about grounding, feeling into your body. So we love the 8 energy. It's very nurturing, very loving. Okay, 9s. Julie, you said you've got some 9s floating about in your chart.
Yeah, I have two. Physical drives and spiritual qualities.
Okay, so the 9s are catalytic, powerful, spiritual, creative, dragon energy that takes up all the space in the room. You know if people have 9 energy because it's very powerful. And when you have it, it's unstoppable power when it's in the talent. It's really a drive, I think. Really, really powerful. This is spirit in motion or God in motion. This is like very unstoppable, strong power. And people with 9s often have a very good connection to source, a very good gut instinct, like, I know what's right and what's wrong. But if it's in a karmic aspect, sometimes we need to learn to trust it a little bit more and reconnect to it because it's there. It's like a quiet power waiting. And really, if you've got 9s in your chart, I've got them in my goals. It's all about claiming back your power from any disempowerment that you've had and any resistance to accepting your power. So 9s have a big fear of power. What happens if I become powerful? How will my life change? We can have a massive resistance to it. And we have to start to trust ourselves and not trust other people who know what's best for us, like a guru or a teacher or a parent. We've got to stop following the rules and start tuning into our gut instinct so that dragon energy can come out. You've got to take power back in daily steps. You can't just suddenly be like, I am powerful. I'm healed from all my disempowerment. It's taking steps, baby steps, taking it back gradually, standing up for yourself, asserting boundaries, tuning into your gut instinct. It's lifelong lessons and movements with a 9. But when you embody the 9, it is a very nice number to have in your chart. Okay, for all my 10 1s. So you'll notice we're now in the doubles. We're now into the 10 1s. So I'm really going to talk about the numbers together, okay, for the second set of the numbers. So the 10 1s together is all about having a strong foundation, which is the ones that we talked about, to be of service. The 10s are all about manifesting this powerful spiritual energy and to be of service to society. That doesn't mean just giving. It means to find deep satisfaction in helping the world and helping others. Sometimes the 10 1s, though, can be quite judgmental and critical of themselves. So it's all about learning to be very compassionate with yourself. And the 10 1s, yeah, because it's a very strong spiritual energy, it's all about focus and discipline, staying on the spiritual path, staying true to yourself. Although sometimes with a 10 1, you can feel a bit like an outsider. It's a very, that's the number of, you can feel like an outsider with this number. You're not. It's just very strong spiritual energies that are really sort of activating in you. So it's all about letting go of the perfectionism and the self-criticism and bringing into deep compassion, finding deep compassion with yourself. That's the energy of the 10 1, coming into compassion with yourself. If you don't have compassion for yourself, you can't really have it for others, so you can't really truly be of service. So that's how you activate them. My lovely 11 2s, nurturing, loving, feminine, giving 11 2s. Now, as I said earlier, 11s are all about builder energies, building a structure of truth, building, if you've got it in a goals, by the way, 11, like a goal or a soul destiny, is all about building a structure of truth and then being resilient to share it with others in the world. So remember, with the 2s, you're learning to have emotional resiliency. You're learning to become wise. You're learning to become balanced so that you can build something and really share it with the world. And it's all about assimilating knowledge and sort of building on your core values and gently and slowly building your truth. But watch out for, sometimes we carry through family dysfunction, especially if it's in the karma. So you're probably the link breaker of your generation, okay, to break through the dysfunction that's flowed through the family. And the other thing with 11-2, sometimes they don't believe that they can do it. So they lean on others. They become overly dependent. So it's all about learning. I can depend on myself. I am strong. I can build. I can be resilient. It's really beautiful when you get into this. So it's all about finding balance, aligning your core values, and healing any of those family dysfunctions that sort of come through the ancestral line. Love 11-2 energies. It's really beautiful number because it's very loving, very nurturing. Ah, the 12-3s. Who's got a 12-3 here? Just because. Anyone got 12-3s?
I have a 12-3 in my physical talents.
Nice. Okay, so I would say to you, Casey, I've got the same number there as well. Do you find that you can always see the good in things? That you can sort of...
I have 1232 in my spiritual goals.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got another one there.
I was gonna say, I feel like yes, but not when it applies to myself.
Do you have a 10-1 in your chart?
Yeah, that's my physical karma.
Okay, so that's learning to be less critical and less judgmental with yourself and more compassionate. Yeah, that's really interesting. Because they kind of go together. The other thing I'll ask you, 12-3 people, do you find that you can always be in a rush, always be late for things, always be sort of wanting to do a lot? Like, oh, there's so much I want to do. Because the 12-3 energy can be exhausting. When we do name optimizations, which is when you change your name to bring in different energies to your name. Not recommended to have a 12-3, even though they're such a beautiful number, they can just be so busy. I'm very busy all the time. I've got 12-3 as my soul destiny. But it's a really beautiful number. It's about seeing and sharing love with people who need it. It's a very loving, expansive number. You're bringing love down and expanding it outwards through you. So it's a number about love, like the sevens. And it's people with 12-3s often love to learn. They can be bookworms, very expansive. I want to learn more. I want to know more. I want to mother everyone. I want to look after people. It's very loving, very expansive. But watch out for falling out of balance from trying to expand, trying to do too many things, trying to be too busy. And remember, the 3s are all about learning true worthiness from within. So watch out for needing to get approval from other people. Okay, it's a really big thing. So we need to be very balanced in how we expand and share ourselves. And we need to keep working on the self-esteem, which pushes us to do more. You're not good enough, do more. You're not good enough, do more. That's the 12-3 energy, pushing, because the 3 is pushing on it. Self-worth, got to do more. So this is you can see now how the numbers play together. The 12 and the 3 plays together. 13-4. Now I know one person definitely has a 13-4 in their chart. I think, Chris, you have a 13.
I do, yes, I do.
I'm actually sat on the symbol of 13 because 13, actually, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, no, I just disappear. 13, the symbol of 13 is very loving. It's the love of the divine feminine. So it's all about this feminine, maternal, and loving energy. It's becoming so wise and so clear that people come and drink from your well of nourishment and wisdom. It's very beautiful. If you have a 13-4, you are here to become loving and wise. A bit like the 11-2. But if we have a 13-4 in a karma, there can often be a mother wound there. a feminine wound. It might not necessarily be your mum, it might be sort of anyone in the female line. And it will play out in your relationships with women. So this is 13-4 energy. It's healing. It's all about healing the heart and letting go of the tough exterior, like the 7 that we build around us to protect us from hurt. So if we've been hurt by a parent, it's all about allowing love in and working through the heart. So spending time with children is really important if you've got this number in your chart. And yeah, it's a very beautiful number to have, very beautiful number to have in a chart. So you'll find that when you know people with this number, you'll really feel that 13-4 energy from them. But if you're not embodying it, if you're not embodying the 13 energy, you might feel a bit closed off on the outside. So it's all about healing the mother wound so that loving energy can come out. Oh, 14-5. I think, Rue, you said you had a 14-5 hanging about in your chart somewhere, didn't you? The 14-5 can be quite an intense number to have in a chart.
Yes.
It's all
the soul destiny.
Hey, it's all about intensity. It's all about learning through relationships and reflecting things back to people and learning who you are. So if you have it in a soul destiny, the 14-5 is all about answering the question, who am I? Who am I? This is like the key for a 14-5. And you will go through relationships with people to help show you who you are. So when you have this, you need a lot of time to yourself outside of relationships to learn self-acceptance from within, because otherwise all these intense relationships with people can lead to a little bit of emotional burnout. So I don't know if that's your experience with this number. But the really cool thing is 14-5 is like a magic mirror. If you have it in your chart, or if someone you know has it, they will often be reflecting things back to you, the truth back up to you, what I call a multi-dimensional mirror. So it's a really cool energy to have, because remember, the 5s are all about truth and the 14s are a mirror. So it's a mirror reflecting the truth. So really you're here to discover who you are and accept that and love it and become at peace with it. So lots of grounding, lots of coming into yourself, lots of time alone is really key with the 14-5. It's a fun number to have. Okay, 15-6. Out of curiosity, who's got a 15-6 here?
I have. Oh, I've got 2.
You've got yes, you do. You have them in your common name.
Physical goals and spiritual goals.
Yeah, in your common name.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of spiritual seekers have a 15-6 because a 15 is about going around in circles, trying to understand who you are, and then getting stuck in this knot of frustration and anger of the 6s. So this is how the numbers work together. And really the 15 is, or I would call, a gentle spiritual journey to finding yourself and trying lots of things. So the 15-6 and the 22 are all about seeking, big seeking energies in these numbers. And really you're searching in a circle for what's actually to be found within. So it's stopping looking externally and starting to look internally. And it's all about learning to feel. Your stomach with a 15 is your awareness center. So this is where you come to really learn and understand how you're really feeling about life. And you're here to wake up. We call it the unconscious number. You're here to really wake up to God, to the universe within you. But it can be a bit tiring because you're going around in circles looking for the answers. And it can feel, very, very frustrating and angry making. So it's all about coming back to your center, coming back to the answers within. Okay, we're doing really well. Just a couple more numbers, and then we're working our way through nicely. Just 4 more numbers. I lied, 6 more numbers. Okay, so the 16-7. So I know Michael I think he said he had a 16-7.
Yeah, 16-7.
Yeah, so this is all about becoming conscious of, where is it in your chart, can I ask?
It's on spiritual karma.
Okay, so 16-7 in a spiritual karma is all about waking up to spirit within you, basically. It's all about stopping, rebelling, and fighting your spiritual growth, and accept it with love. Remember, 7 is the love number, opening and healing the heart to allow spirit to come in, and grounding it into the earth, into your physical reality, into your body. And this is a really nice number to have because it's all about bringing knowledge down and sharing it with others with an open heart and catalyzing people. This is the energy of the 7, networking, sharing things, linking people, and accepting love. It's a really big thing with the 7s. You've got to accept love so you can work through your heart and start trusting the spiritual energies that come to you. So that's really the energy of the 16. And then we got the 17-8, and the 17-8 is all about expressing yourself in society. This is what we call the mouth of God. So like the 5s, it's all about verbal communication, all about sort of expressing yourself. Normally big vibrations of a teacher when you have this number. It's about sharing and expressing yourself. But if you have it in a karma or a goal position, you normally have to overcome what we call slavery to dominion. So any suppression of your soul, of your being in your childhood or later in life, it's all about overcoming this. So you come into dominion of yourself, come into your own power. So this is what the 17-8 is really all about, coming into your power so you can express who you are and ground yourself into the world. It's 8s, remember, all about connecting to people, and the 17 is all about communicating to them. So it's about communicating and connecting to people. And it's a good business number as well, just like the 4s, just like the 6s, good number to have in a talent. So just be careful of just being a bit one-sided, and remember to keep working on the self-worth, another self-worth number like the 3s. Keep learning to express yourself. You're worthy to speak up. You're worthy to be heard. You're worthy to be validated. But you have to learn that with the 17-8. So speak and write freely as much as you can to open up any suppression of your being. Same with the 3s. If you have a 3, the more speaking and sharing you can do, the better. Really, 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 really powerful. Okay, the 18-9, let's just clear that. The 18-9 is all about following spirit. This is your lifetime to choose the universe, to choose God, to choose spirit. But sometimes the 18-9s really struggle with that. And I love this energy. The 18 is all about finishing things, tidying things off, finishing, completion, finishing projects. So you really need to finish things, but you might struggle if you have an 18-9 to really, really finish things and get things done. And there can be a lot of fear. Have I made the wrong decision? A lot of guilt. Should I have done that? Did I hurt someone? Should I have not? You know, it's a very quite a guilty, fearful number, but it's hugely powerful. You know, lots of intellect, lots of visionary power in this number, just like the 5s. And another one that really needs to express itself, the 5s, the 17s, and the 8s really need to communicate themselves. Remember, 9, big, powerful, strong energy. 18, big, spiritual, creative energy. So very dynamic duo, this, very powerful. And to really embrace it, you need to forgive yourself. You need to surrender to spirit, and you need to trust your decision-making abilities. This is the key of the 18-9. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Finish things off. Know that you can finish them. Okay, last 3 numbers. You've done really well. Lots of information being chucked at you. Who's got a 19-1? I know someone had one somewhere. Might have been Sally, she dipped off. 19-1s are all about holding space for others. Again, a very service-orientated number, but remember, with the 19-1, the 10-1, and the 22-4, it's all about using your power properly. So it's all about learning to use power responsibly, because they're very service-orientated numbers. So you're here to help others reach their goals. It's a very nice energy to have in a chart. You are the container that you hold people in. It's very supportive. You bring people in. You're also grounding very spiritual energies when you have this number to really help other people reach their goals. But you have to learn to laugh at yourself and come out of self-judgment. So remember, 10-1s can be very judgmental. 19-1s can be very judgmental of themselves. So it's all about coming into compassion. But more so, laugh at yourself. It's okay. Don't take things so seriously with a 19-1. But ground this big, strong power of the ones by having a routine and a stable spiritual practice. So you have that lovely, strong foundation. Okay, and then we've got the 22. The 22 is movement. It's moving, creative energy that inspires you to let go of rigid beliefs and concepts and to open your mind to new ways of thinking and being and understanding. So 20s can always be wanting to seek. I've got to try that. I want to do that. I want to learn that. A bit like the 12-3s, expanding, seeking. So it's all about sort of opening up narrow belief systems and seeing what else there is in there. To learn that wisdom and that resiliency. Remember the spring of resiliency and emotional wisdom, the 2s. And again, like the 3s, like the 10-1s, like the 18-9s, self-acceptance, like the 15-6, I come into full acceptance of who I am. Often people with this number can have conflicts with people, especially if it's in karma, like, oh, I had a fight with my neighbor, I got into an argument with my teacher, I'm at war with my parents. Because when there's an external war, it's just a reflection of the internal war within. When you're peaceful within, you're peaceful without. When you're calm within, your world is calm. You are a reflection of your reality. So 20 is all about finding peace within. And then you find peace externally. And to keep moving and expanding and seeking new things. Letting go of dogmas and religious beliefs. Big one for the 22. And then the 21-3, I know Rue said you had a 21-3. This is all about overcoming hardship with strength, durability, and power and intelligence. The Trinity is intelligence. I said duranility, it's not, it's durability and strength. So this is all about withstanding big challenges, big hardships. You know, so people who have this number in their chart, I know 2 people with this number. One of them's had a big surgery in his life. The other one's had a massive injury that really affected his sporting career. So it's all about overcoming these big challenges. You're here to develop endurance and unblock your power. It's a very slow moving energy. So it's all about letting go of doing things the hard way and sort of leaning back and sort of working through things as they come, making life as easy as possible for yourself. And you'll find that when you have this number, your energy can be very heavy and lethargic and stagnant, or very restless and too goal orientated. So it's about finding the balance. And with the 3s, learning to communicate how you're feeling. Conscious communication with the 3s. So 21-3, moving through big challenges and building strength and endurance. And then the last number, we have the beautiful 22-4. Completion. It's the final number. It's the Holy
I
Trinity.
have the 22-4.
Yes, I thought you did. Yeah, I remember you saying the 22-4 is mind, body, soul. It's all of the physical, spiritual, creative, and communication energies all in one. It's the culmination of all the numbers. This is total service, this number, like the 10-1s, really here to help humanity, help the world. And it's all about accepting the perfection within you. So 22-4s can sometimes have this tension within them of, I know I come from spirit. I know I have a soul. I know I'm part of God, a spark of the divine, yet I don't feel that way. And it's this constant tension within. You know you come from source, but you feel very disconnected from it. So the 22-4 is all about learning to trust. Remember, 4 is all about trust. Trust where you come from. Trust that you were looked after in this life. And to reconnect with your divine nature. This is the energy of 22. Reconnect with your divine nature. Fall into self-acceptance. Fall into understanding the perfection of who you are. And remember, this is my favorite thing about them. These numbers. Remember, you have everything within. You have everything you need within you. This goes for everyone, not just this number. You have everything you need within you, but especially for this number. Okay, so that was, let's do a time check. Oh, we've just gone over time, but this is amazing. I was half an hour late over time last time. So I'm sorry if it felt like a bit of a sprint and a rush to get through, but there were 22 numbers and I wanted to give them equal amounts of time. But before we move on to me just finishing off, does anyone have any questions about their numbers, where they are in their charts? Well, you've got me, I'm here. Any thoughts?
So I've got a lot of the tough stuff, by the sounds of it. So the 8, the 21-3.
Yeah.
What's my question? I think my question is a little bit understanding where what is, or if that makes a difference. So soul destiny, for example, is 88.
Yeah. You know what? Let me just go back to my chart where I give you an example. And there we go. We'll go just look at this little chart here.
Yeah.
When a number is in our karma, that's probably where we're going to feel that number the most. When it's in the karma. So I really feel my 5s and 8s in my karma. I really struggle to speak the truth. And I really struggle with boundaries and feeling things in my body, which I'm consciously working through. I really feel these. I definitely felt them a lot when I was younger. And now I feel a lot more conscious of them. And I'm really activating them and working through them. And they're really going to become my gift of service. I'm going to help other people do the same. The other place where we're going to find the numbers challenging are in our goals, because I'm here to step into my power with the 9s, and I'm here to come out of hiding and heal my heart with the 7s. Not quite strong, not as strong as the karmic elements. There's still some karma there, but it's like 2/3 of the karma or a half of the karma. You're probably not going to feel it as strongly as if it's in a physical or a spiritual karma. And there's going to be some positives when they're in the goals as well. You know, sometimes I can be really powerful. Sometimes I can be really authentic and be myself when it feels good. And then normally the easiest parts are really in the talents. So the talents are often quite positive. So when it's a match between the talents and the karma, or the talents and the goals, that's quite nice. It's very supportive. And the talents, you know, the talents can feel good. So the more we lean into our talents, the more we can use them to negate our karma, to work through our karma. So the more I come out of hiding with my spiritual talents of 7, the more I connect with people, which is my karma of 8, struggling to connect with people and feel things. And when I do that, I can reach my goals of, oh, I can network with a lot of people and connect with a lot of people because I've come out of hiding. So you can see how all of them link together. So I'll give you another example. My physical karma, I really struggle to speak up and assert myself. But actually, I have got a lot of love within me, a lot of love to share. But what I really need to do is overcome this disempowerment that I felt and actually step into that power so I can be assertive, so I can share love with those who need it. So they're sort of always working together in a flow, but not necessarily in the flow that you think, which is why sort of when you have a reading, this is what we connect together with you. It's a very interactive thing with you and me. We're sort of seeing where you're at and where the energies and where the dynamics are really flowing together, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Anne?
Yes, actually, that was useful. I took some notes on that. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Dominant vibration.
Yes. So dominant, as in what it is.
Oh,
Yes, please.
What's your dominant vibration, Graham?
3-8.
What was it?
3-8.
Dominant vibration, a 3-8.
Yes.
I don't think it,
Comma.
I don't think it can be a 3-8. Is it a double 8?
No, it's 3,8.
Oh no, oh sorry, dominant vibration. I thought you were talking about soul destiny. So you've got 2 dominant numbers in your charts. You've got the 3 and you've got the 8. So the dominant vibration, so my dominant vibration is 7. That's the energy that you're really going to be feeling pushing through your chart, the energy of 8.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, connecting with your emotions. And the 3s, they go together, Graham. Connecting with your emotions, accessing the depths within you. Both the 8s and the 3s are all about diving deep within and bringing forth knowledge and yourself out into the world.
Right.
Connecting with people and connecting with yourself. That's the energies of 3s and 8s.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about a connection of 5? What about a dominant vibration of 5 then?
5 is all about learning to make things tangible, learning to ground yourself into this physical reality and to speak your truth and become assertive.
Mark, I'm sat next to that, you see.
Yes, I know. Exactly. It's the 5 energy. Beautiful number. Does anyone else have any questions?
Me, I have. In my chart, I do have 3, 11, 2. But in my chart, my dominant vibration is 9.
How many 9s do you have? 4?
Uh, Let me check. It's 9, 9 in physical drives and spiritual qualities. So it's 4.
Got 4 of them. Yeah, so 4 or more numbers is your dominant vibration. But because you've got 3 11s and 3 2s, there'll also be quite a strong energy in your chart, definitely, but not as strong as the 9s. The 9s for you are saying overcoming disempowerment, stepping into your power, releasing the fear and the resistance to embodying your power, your sense of yourself, really connecting to spirit so you can really open up and expand into the world. That's what it's saying to me. Okay.
Thank you.
It's okay. Anyone else got a question before we finish? If you do have any questions and you're like, oh, yeah.
Sorry. I have a question about the karma.
Yes.
Because you were talking about how it's like one of the more challenging things. So is it that like once you learn how to manage it, it doesn't feel as challenging throughout your life, or it's always going to feel challenging throughout your life?
Really good question. It's how much you work through it, and there's targeted recommendations really for each number and each energy, like very specific ones and very broad ones. So when you know your karma, like with anything, when you have awareness, you've got more empowerment. You have more power and more control and more awareness. So even just by knowing it, it's very empowering for you. It's a constant thing that you work with always. The energies of your whole chart, wherever, whatever the numbers are in any position, you will be working through those energies, you know, throughout your lifetime. But you will become very familiar with them. You'll say, oh, I've got, you know, what's your physical karma, can I ask?
10-1.
A 10-1. Oh my gosh, here's me being really self-critical about myself again. That's my classic 10-1 and my physical karma. So it's like you become very attuned to it and very familiar with that energy. So you can sort of understand it more and catch it because you've got awareness of it. It's not a subconscious thing that's driving you. It's like, oh yeah, I've got this like lack of compassion for myself. Let's work through that. So it's more
Okay.
like you embody them, you embrace them, you accept them, you love them, because it's all about accepting, embodying, embracing, and loving yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had a follow-up question with that. But if you went over it in the beginning, I'll just rewatch it because I know I jumped in late. What's the difference between like physical and spiritual in terms of how they interact with you, I guess?
So the physical points to the earth plane, and these are the energies that probably are in the earlier part of our life, maybe until
Okay.
30, 40, something like that. Different with each person, but we'll probably feel them in our childhood a lot. Although to be fair, like I'm still working on my energies of 5s. I'm still working on my karma there. But the spiritual kind of comes online when we've sufficiently worked through enough of the physical so that our spiritual karma can really start to activate. So, for example, this year I've had a very intense year of deep emotional healing, which is my 8s coming into focus of like emotionally feeling things in the body. So for me, this is like a transition I feel at the moment, but I'm still working with the karma of 5s.
Yes.
We're still having fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay. Everyone good? Anyone got a final question?
I'd just like to say thank you because it's been fascinating.
Oh, Graham, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Honestly, I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who showed up and to everyone who's going to be watching this afterwards. It makes, you know, such a difference to me to have all of your energy on here. And it's, you know, a massive joy. And if anyone's got any, you know, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, on email, and ask me any questions about this. And just before I go, I'll just fast forward really quickly to the end of my slides. Okay, my screen seems to have frozen a little bit. Okay, oh yeah. So the only thing is, so tomorrow I'll send you the recording. So, you know, feel free to send it to anyone that you think might be interested or look back at your numbers. And I'm offering everyone who's signed up 15% off a birth reading with me. And I'll put the details in the email. And 25% off what I call my Super Soul package, which is a birth reading, which is an hour, and then a relationship reading. And a relationship reading is when we look at all the other names that you've used in your lifetime, your common name, your married names, changes of names, and your family, your partners, your parents, your siblings, anyone who's had an impact on your life, and you want to understand how the energies are interacting. So we look at clashes, we look at locks, where the energies are locking. So for example, someone I used to date, we had massive clashing karma. And when I looked at that, I said, that makes so much sense. So again, when you understand the relationships you've had around you, which are the making of you, again, it's just a deeper level of self-awareness, especially when you look at your parents. That gives you a lot of answers. And yeah, and I put my website at the bottom, but you guys all know my website because that's how you found me. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And yeah, just say thank you very, very much for being here. It's a real pleasure to meet you. And, you know, I know some of you, Casey, I'm going to meet you soon. And Chris and Graham, I'm going to see you this week. And Yeah, and have beautiful evenings.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you very
really
much.
Thank you
appreciate
very much.
Take care.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
That was
We
really
want to
good.
subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Oh my
I
gosh.
followed you on Instagram.
Amazing. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
And
See, so much.